Everyone, I'm Keychain. I got a request for a video, and I know other people have requested videos. This one just happened to line up. So we're doing a video about the wolf tonight and just some things to know and how you can get more damage and stuff like that. Now, before we get started, I was looking at my YouTube analytics and I noticed that I get 65% of my watch time from non-subscribers. So please, if you watch regularly, hit the like and subscribe button and subscribe for more content. So the wolf, let's get into that. The event is called Kingdom Threat. And the wolf is capped at level 17. It used to go higher than that, but they made a change a while back. And each time you attack the wolf, you get rewards for doing damage. And then if you rank, you get extra awards. So ranking in the top 50, and you can see the breakdown here. Now, how do you do that? Well, when you select this, you can hit attack and you're going to find the wolf on the map. Now, the wolf always spawns north of the forest. And you can go to any kingdom and look around just north of the forest, or I guess technically not directly north, so a little bit northwest. But all kingdoms spawn somewhere northwest of the forest. So if you're below the forest, your march time is going to be farther away, and you want to avoid that if you can. Now, how do you prepare for the wolf? How do you maximize your damage? Well, you want to increase your march capacity as high as you can get it. So for me, I'm going to buff up. I've already got march capacity on, but we're going to increase our attack, increase our defense. I would pop, if I hadn't popped it already, I would increase my march capacity. And then if you want to make sure that you're in your war spec so you can do your most damage. So for me, that's my tab number 1. And when I go into that, now I have my war talents. So a little bit more march cap, a little bit more damage, and I get the talent, this one here, for Colossal March. So when I'm ready, I'm going to activate Colossal March. I've got my march cap going, I've got everything stacked. And if you really want to go hardcore on the wolf, you can get a temporary wonder. So when you go into your character screen, down here in the bottom left, you see these 2 little grayed out chalices. Well, if you click them, you can go to the store and see what kind of wonders there are. Well, storage protection, that's not going to help us. Construction speed, that's not going to help us. Research speed's not going to help us. Neither is this one. But look at this one, Commander's Horn. So you can get a 1-day Commander's Horn for 2,000 gold. Now, if you're trying or you're just on the cusp of ranking on the wolf, and that extra Lord experience is really going to help you, it might be worth it. The other option is to do this Hellfire Hand Cannon to gain some extra troop health, attack, and defense. Now, I don't go this hardcore on the wolf, but it is an option. So there's potential to increase your march capacity even further if you really wanted to try and take one of those top spots. Now, getting into the wolf itself, the wolf is infantry-based troops. Now, what that means, based on the triangle, is that there's a defense, let's see, I don't know the right word for it, but there's an advantage if you use distance against infantry. Now, one of the things that we were testing, or that I wanted to test, is with my current stats, I'm all cavalry, and I've been trying to keep distance up just enough to make it so, wolf is still doable and I don't, drop completely out of it, but I'm going to try cav on a couple of these and see how we do. So first we'll attack with my normal distance march, and there's some different ones and people have variations. The one I like is Malpin and Prince Arba. And the other thing you should do, there's calculators out there for the wolf and all kinds of stuff, but the wolf changed. Those aren't really relevant anymore. So what you want to do is use your highest tier troops. And the other thing I forgot to do, almost forgot, Colossal March. Let's get that going. So use your highest troop tier because they have the highest damage. It used to be that there was a perfect formula for sending 70% of your top tier and 30% of your next tier and 5% and 1% and, like mixed marches and all this, different stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. So we're going all distance. Now, even when you're attacking with the exact same march, because of the guard skill discrepancies, you're going to see huge swings in damage. So I'll attack 3 times, then we'll look at the damage for each, and then I'm going to try cavalry and see how that compares. So I could preset these marches to be all tier 11, but I'm lazy. So for now, I'm just doing it this way. And we'll attack more. Now, I like to camp myself above the forest so that my march time is super fast. I'm only 6 seconds away, which makes it really easy to make sure you get all 10 attacks in during that colossal march window of a half an hour. And we're going to do this last attack, and then we're going to go look at the damage numbers. So we can also look at my stats so you get an idea on what's generating the numbers that I'm getting. So we're going to go take a look, and each time you do damage to the wolf, you're going to get these 940 of the 500 experience. Now, if you're in a newer kingdom and your wolf is not level 17, you might get less of these. Or if you're not doing enough damage, you might get less of these. So on my first attack, I did 49 million damage. Okay. Second attack, 51 million damage. And third attack, 60 million damage. So it's going up. And you don't get a combat breakdown of why that happened, but it's guard abilities and the amount that they trigger and how many critical hits you get and that type of stuff. And my stats to generate those, let's look since we're in this tab already. We're going down to benefits. Now my distance stats, my distance attack is 8,600. My distance defense is 9,300 and my distance health is 8,600. So if you average them out, I'm about 9,000 stats across the board, like give or take. So my troop attack at the top is 5,700, and then my other troop stats are 5,000 and 5,600. So that's another piece of the puzzle. Now let's do cavalry. So I'm experimenting live with you guys. Well, not technically live, but first time I'm doing this. We're gonna go with our cav march and see how it goes. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using these two and not using Jacob, my Jacob's not quite ready. He's close, but I'm using my 2 highest cav guards. They're both my 4-star guards. So soon I'll have Jacob to 4-star, and then I'll switch my marches up. But for now, this is what I'm using. So let's do 3 attacks here and see what the difference is and if it's noticeable or not. Now my cav stats are much higher, and my war books are focused on cavalry, so that could make a pretty big difference. Even though cavalry are supposed to be weak against infantry, that's just where my stats lie, and the books and the stats might be enough to overcome the natural disadvantage of that troop type. So let's take a look. Now here I did 56 million and 55 million and 55 million. So it looks more consistent. And that's because these guards don't have critical hit. So there's not a lot to swing it back and forth. But you can see that the damage, if I was hitting this 60 million each time, that the distance would still be better, even though my cavalry stats are better. But on average, I'm getting these, I'm going to get these 50 million and these 49 million. So cavalry might just be a good steady way for me to do the wolf. So I'm going to finish this out, and I think that's just about it. If you have questions about this or comments, let me know. The other thing that we're going to be doing on the channel is I'm going to be doing giveaways. I won't do it on this one, but the next video that I do that I have planned, I'm going to do another giveaway on there. And they're giveaway of Amazon coins, and they're for the US Amazon App Store. So if you're eligible for that, or you have someone else that you might be able to give it to, like, you can still enter. It doesn't have to be you that wins it. If you win and you want to give the coins to someone else, by all means, we can do that. So thank you for watching, and hope you do well on the wolf, and have a good rest of your night.